It's
So
got
it's
to be
always
weirder now, right? Because now it's just like, what do they do with all the bullshit pop culture stuff? Like, does that just it just all goes in? It's like, yeah, The Rock, got in a beef with this guy this week,
oh,
or
I
just
know, right?
like it's got to be just turning into a real mess in there. Because I do feel like, regardless
Yeah.
of its flaws, that like 50 or 60 years ago, the newspapers were mostly restricted to news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there was the occasional gossip thing, but it was more based from a perspective of like, John D. Rockefeller's in town and the town's pissed because he's closing down this railway station and moving all of his freight line to ships or something like that, right? That was as good as gossip got. So yeah, it's news. Obviously, this is pretty obvious to most people, but yeah, news is not what it used to be, and that's what I fell in love with, was reading newspapers from the 1800s, because it was very straightforward and cut and dry. And you're dealing with all these little versions of a bigger version of newspapers. The most common thing I get is yellow journalism, and they were making things up in the 1800s. Well, sure,